Bitcoin, technical analysis, and macroeconomic fundamentals. By the end of this stream, you'll have everything you need to know about Bitcoin before anyone else does. Guaranteed. CPI, she comes in hot, and all of a sudden the market's dumped. Just like that. It was as if you could imagine a bunch of retail traders on their computer waiting for that CPI. Oh my God, the CPI reports coming out. If it's hot, I'm selling for sure. Like there's an army of retail traders. This is the quintessential example of bots. This is what bots do. They wait for the data, and if then that. And then we see this robot quant bot horrific, life-altering dump from, I remember it like it happened in like 1 minute, because I was like, I looked at it and I was like, maybe my charts are frozen. Why does it still say 94? Because it was almost at 96. And then of course it dumped 2.58%. And if you look on Twitter or anything, it's just the market's crashing. This is where we are now. We're making mountains out of molehills, really. I mean, the funny thing is about the CPI don't care report is that it's just so mired in lies. Like, why is that surprising that the CPI comes in hot? The odd time I venture out of my bubble into the real world. So, for instance, remember yesterday I was saying I went to Jordan Peterson's talk, his cokehead mushroom trip rant. Well, I went to thought I'd enjoy myself a nice little soda water, right? They were selling bubblies, right? It's not. We all know what a bubbly costs, right? I don't know, maybe $1 if you were to go into like a store, like a Save on Foods or a Safeway or a Whole Foods or whatever it is. Let's call it $2, right? $10. And now this is an inflated environment and they can get away with it. They have the market cornered, let's say, on what you're going to drink. But that is unbelievable that a bubbly, like I couldn't buy it. It's just like, I couldn't buy it. I didn't want it that much. I was more like bored sensations. But what is this, 2005, Jesse? Yes. But when the CPI comes out hot, everyone's, oh my God, it's the inflation's up. I mean, all you have to do is have a somewhat of a pulse to understand that inflation is way higher than they even say it is. What is it, 0.1%? It came in to 2.93%. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised it's that low. Now, the problem is that with inflation, the market, the robot quant bots, in their algorithms, they say, well, if CPI inflation is high, then the cost of money will go up because the interest rates won't come down, and then we will see a depressed stock market. However, as depressed as one might think the stock market is, it seems to just go up. And eventually it'll come down, and everyone's been saying eventually it'll come down for a long time. It hasn't yet. Doesn't mean it won't, just means it hasn't yet. Now look at this. This is what you call chop suey price mincing nowheresville. This is indicative of a consolidation that's occurring right before our eyes, whether we like it or not. You know, it's an interesting aspect, this bull run. Like my thumbnail was a tumbleweed. That's what I feel like retail is doing. And I don't even use retail anymore because I feel like it's a misnomer. Like there's a bunch of people waiting there to buy. I don't think so. You know, retail usually comes in not knowing they want to buy, and then they ape in not knowing what even they're buying or what price they're buying. I just got to get in, right? We're not at that level in this bull run where I just got to get in. I think we missed that boat, and there will have to be a new boat that arises with a marquee number that people will be like, I gotta get in. At this point, though, whatever ship came has sailed. whatever the small amount of talking that I heard or the questions I was asked, at the squash club, is gone. No one really cares about it. And it's funny because like in our bubble, there's nothing more important than what's going on. But just like any bubble, you go outside it, you just step outside that curtain and you realize, wow. Hey, so like the inflation. Do you think any of your friends, your normie friends, know that there's a CPI, right? Consumer Price Index, even knows what that is, or that they measure it on a month-over-month, year-over-year basis? Do you think they even know that? No. So here we do. It's one of those, not a one, Scotty Mo. That's right. So you couldn't even see CPI. They would probably think it's like a medical maneuver. Oh, you got a CPI? What is something wrong with your heart? And then everyone in the Bitcoin market would be like, yeah, we're heartbroken kind of. This bull run isn't taking off. It's only doubled. We want 10x's. We don't want 1x's. The crypto fear and greed hovering down at 46. Now, there are some, I don't like it enough at 46. I wanted to, we at this point, we need the storm to come and wash away the shrimp boats, right? We need the hodlers to be the only Forrest Gump shrimp boats out in the ocean. Right now, it's not, we're just bored. We've entered dumb. We haven't entered extreme fear where we can end up getting that pump up. So Nicole saying, BitBoy's vid from some hotel room. Cassie's posting, is he missing? That'd be horrible if he was missing. Well, that'll probably come out today or resolve itself. Crypto Breezy, Nicole saw that all over X. Yeah, well, we'll see. That'd be, despite what anyone does or has done, I mean, nobody wishes any harm to anyone, although they all wish harm to each other. But we, from the outside looking in, we don't want that. Now, here's where things get dicey. If you were to do some technical analysis on a chart, just to check where we are in the market, not to, put a leverage trade in, but just to know where you are, what the mood of the market is. You can see now, I know everyone's a smart cookie out there, so I'll let you answer. What does this look like we're building out? What does this look like we're building out on this side? I'll wait. Terry Crow, that's right. You got it. Something like that. I don't know. The funny thing is I've practiced that stupid song so many times in my life, the Jeopardy theme, because I always thought, it'd be funny to do the Jeopardy theme one at the piano bar, and I never do it, and then it goes stale, right? So it's not, the thing with piano, if you don't play it enough, it all goes stale, except for some songs. There's songs I'll never have to practice again. I'll just know forever. I just jinxed myself. Watch. That's right. A head and shoulders pattern playing out. Of course, but like if we look at this astrology for men, that's right, Derek Crow. When we're in a chop suey, all we're doing is head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, because nothing's happening. We're just we're hitting our head and stubbing our toe. So in that, you're going to develop these patterns. I wouldn't say that they're going to play out. Eventually we're going to break out of this. This is what I don't like. I'd like to be in this channel of eternal monotony. We have broken down, and now let's say, if we were to, what's this? Let's use this guy. Perfect. I'll draw out this head and shoulders just so we kind of get what's going on here. If we were to play this, you take the pole, you slide it all to the breakout point, and then we're all at, basically the next support level of our channel of eternal monotony. Now, this is where all the magic happened, because if we go back, this is where, we broke into 90K. Those were some fun times, weren't they? Those were some fun times, exciting times. Those times have dried up, and now we've been consolidating for 3 months. So you can see how this pattern would play out to there. I'm not saying it will, I'm not saying it, the probabilities at this point are 50-50, because you have to take a pattern and paste it over the trend, right? What is the trend? Nothing. We're in a chop. So let's say a head and shoulders pattern has a 61% probability of playing out. Well, over a chop market, it's less, over if we're in a bearish trend, it's slightly more, but not enough. So I could see it playing out to there. 94, we just lost it. Now, this is an interesting thing on the old Wookie, the weekly chart here. We've got support from this bull flag all the way. We've just broken out of it, but this means nothing until we close this. But I want to tell you some interesting levels. So this is the 23.6% fib, because, of course, all we're doing is going from fib to fib. That's it. What is a fib? Well, it's just psychological levels that humans buy and sell at. But it also goes much deeper into the universe, how the universe unfolds. So it's as simple as that and as complicated as that. Now, if you look at some of these wicks, we've gone all the way down to the 38.2% fib. Of course, because that's where you're going to go. You're going to go from fib to fib. Now, we did have this bearish cross, so I wanted to speak fractaliciously and go back to our last bearish cross. Where was that? Right here. Again, I have to reiterate, it's not that common to have two bearish crosses on the weekly in a bull run. We only had two in 2021, and then that's all she wrote. So we have two right now. Things are different, right? We can say that till the cows come home. Let's see what happened. Right here is about, let's go candlestick to candlestick. 14%. 14% from candlestick to candlestick. We're not counting wicks. Who cares about wicks? But let's say, where are we here? 14% from here. I guess we'll go to the week we closed. 14%. Where is that? Holy smokes, it's at the 61.8% fib, the goldenest of golden ratios. So if fractaliciously speaking, if the same thing was to play out as the last weekly dump in the summer bummer, we would fall 15%, let's call it, to the 61.8%. Now, do we know what the 61.8% fib is often referred to? I'll wait. That's right. The golden ratio, XRP, A11Y. TRD Farmer, gold. Can we accept golden pocket? No, we're referring to pianomattyB's euphemism for it, right? Not the actual term. Right. Sorry, TRD Farmer. We can't accept golden pocket. It's the and now the true answer is the goldenest of golden ratios, XRP, A11Y. But we'll take that one. Now, would that make all the sense in the world? Because but thanks for playing, TRD Farmer. Thanks for playing. We have some those contestants appearing on but not participating on the pianomattyB technical analysis quiz show will receive, and a promotional fee has been paid for by the goldenest of golden ratios, 61.8%. Now, that would be, where is that actually? It's at the price, 61.8, 81. Yeah. So that's not crazy bearish like doomsday. it's really more in line with some of the crashes we've had in past bull runs, which we don't have those anymore, right? So to a certain degree, we've become like millennials to a certain degree in in the sense that life is a little easier now compared to, let's say, Gen X's when everyone was feral children. So what I mean by that is that the swing we've matured as an asset class, so we aren't seeing these massive swings. 30%. Man, if you take a look at the sentiment now, and we've only really been channeling in like a 10% swing, like this is really just 10% up and down, back and forth. You can see how everyone is basically, it's doomsday. We haven't even hit a 30% pullback, which is crazy. And I think that's part of our PTSD is that, we're used to these 30% pullbacks, but haven't got one. So we're kind of like, well, where are they? It's not like the Bitcoin market to not wreck everybody. This is what it does, but it hasn't done it. So if we were to go to 80%, let's just see what that would be. Let's go candlestick to candlestick, not the wicks. So candlestick to, let's say we close here, 22%. It's still just a training wheel crash. It would only be a training wheel crash. The type of crash that you're expecting. You have a helmet on and you have knee pads and elbow pads, right? So it wouldn't even hurt. I mean, it would decimate. It would decimate this bull market. That is when I would probably get pretty excited. I would start thinking that things are about to change. Once we kind of liquidate that froth and it's gone, I would think that that's when the excitement would start. Now, I don't want it to go to 81K because I feel the sentiment already is so darn tootin' low that I don't want to walk around in the world with the sentiment because, as content creators, you're empaths to the market. You feel people's mood somehow through the comment section. Is your birthday today, Randy Hipper? My birthday is Sunday, celebrating on Friday show. Oh, wow. How old are you turning, Randy Hipper? Valentine's Day, February 14th, Randy Hipper. Birthday, 22. Holy smokes. Well, we'll have to make that a special one, tuning into Randy Hipper's birthday special. February 14th, no less. It's funny because someone told me that their girlfriend's birthday was February 14th at the piano bar. And the only thing I thought was, oh, you poor guy. Because now you're probably expected to do a birthday present and Valentine's Day. It's like being one of those kids that are born on Christmas. Eventually it becomes one. You get a birthday and a Christmas for about, maybe inside of 10 years. And then it just kind of, we're going to do them both, right? I would almost think that Randy Hipper would be the type of gal who'd be like, listen, no presents, no dual presents. It's my birthday. We'll have a nice dinner, call it that. We'll make it all one, right? But happy birthday to Randy Hipper. Pre. I'm okay with dinner, she said. Yeah. Well, the problem is, so that Jordan Peterson thing, right? There was a dinner before it. It's like, and it was a friend from the squash club. Like, you want to meet us for dinner? I'm like, no, I couldn't do it because I can't. When you've ate steak for a year, making it yourself, it's hard to go. Even the best steakhouses in Winnipeg, which I assume they're all kind of the same. Like I've done steak at the Fountain Bleu in Miami, South Beach or whatever that area is called. and it was a very expensive steak. I didn't buy it. I would never buy that expensive steak. It was on one of those corporate things where they were wining and dining us. And it wasn't as good as the steak I make that I, get from a farmer. I would much rather. And how unfun. Imagine that, Randy. You had a boyfriend and he's like, hey, happy birthday. Guess what? I'm going to make you steak. I mean, I would argue that if he's that confident with a steak, you're probably better off having him cook it than go to the thing. But the thing is, when you Carl Elder, nobody beats my own meat. When you work a 9 to 5, you appreciate I don't know what it's called, the service of Randy Hipper. If a man makes me steak, I'd be pleased. TRD former, absolutely, Matty. It doesn't just steak either. Once you start doing things fresh and toxin-free, the masses' idea of quality becomes far less impressive. Yeah, what I've noticed with the farm cow is that all its offcuts that I would never buy, like inside round, outside round, all these, I don't even look at them. I ate them because they're cutting the steaks, and they were as good as any ribeye that I get, from a legacy butcher, so to speak. I was really surprised at the fat content too. So it's unbelievable. And so there I lie. I can't go out for dinner anymore. I don't drink booze. I'm just not the funnest guy when it comes to the social. Anyway, Randy Hipper, I get these steaks that are grass-fed and everything. I've found, now correct me if I'm wrong, and it could be in Canada, but the grass-fed meat here is on discount. Now, I think it's discounted because they cut it thin. Like, I can't get a thick grass-fed ribeye, but it is 50% less than a normal ribeye, a grain-fed ribeye. Now, Alexandra G, yes, the farm cow I got was grass-fed, grain-finished, which maybe that puts that little bit of the marbled fat in it, because I think it's to me it was always the fat that you're trying to get with these steaks rather than non-fat. I mean, that's where kind of where the taste is. Although that's where you start tiptoeing through the weird nutritional conspiracy theory garden. Like, have I been lied to? What do you mean? What do you mean you want to eat the fat? I thought fat was bad. Are we not supposed to? So my whole life, up until I was 40, really, I was like, fat is bad. Don't eat fat. Eat fat-free. Like, that's arguably half my life. I was gaslit and brainwashed into thinking fat was bad. And so now that I'm on the other side, I kind of broke through into the truth side. When I talk about fat, I notice people will look at me the way I would look at me, when I say, well, I'm trying to eat as much fat as I can. Well, what do you mean fat? What do you want to have a heart attack? You want your arteries to close? You want to get high LDL? All that stuff. I've been meaning to do my 1-year carniversary because it's been a year. February 1st was the 1-year carniversary. So I'm going to make a video of the pros, cons, what I've augmented, what I've changed, and things like that for any of the carnivores out there. Who knows? Maybe Bitcoin will be so boring that it'll just become a carnivore channel. Stranger things have happened. Are we recovering? Not really. We are. Look at this, this channel of descension. Generally breaks to the upside. Dave Digital, I pay $7.99 for top sirloin. That's pretty cheap, even in Canada. So $8 would be, I don't know, $11.50. Yeah, for top sirloin, we're paying upwards of, $17, $18, which would be $13, $14, $12 for you guys. So, hit the likes for Duke. 56 likes. Not going to happen today for Duck. it's so cold that the kids it's minus 30 here. So what that means is that the kids don't go out of the school because if they might die. Because it's so cold, they might die, you know. But so they stay inside. They don't get that much needed vitamin D. Now let's just do a little thought experiment on this channel of descension. You know, once we have been hitting our head on it, and you could tell price action kind of wants to be inside it. Yeah, that was never a thing in the 80s, TRD Farmer, right? There was like the teachers were like, class, it's recess. Now get the hell out there. Door shuts. Staff room having cigarettes while the kids are in minus 30. It was smoking in the school, which is crazy. Everybody smoked back then. So what we could see is a retest of the support line. Now, it wouldn't go straight down. Let's just call it right about here, 88.8. Yeah, well, see, that's that magic Asian number, 88.8, right? So could we see a retest of this? Yeah, as long as there's no massive influx coming in or fundamentals to rock our socks off. We're basically waiting for the fundamentals to change, right? Even though the fundamentals have never been more bullish than they are right now. Never. I've never seen more bullish fundamentals in the market from, you know, nation states to the American states. I think we're up to 21 or 23. The strategic Bitcoin reserve porn. Institutions aping in. All the financial advisors getting streamlined into selling it. Now, that I don't have much confidence in that, because these financial advisors, it's like telling a normie friend, okay, your job is to sell Bitcoin. Now you go learn everything about it and then go sell it, right? Unless you know everything about it, it's a hard sell. Well, if you know everything about it, it's an easy sell. You can go on forever. You can just you can talk ad nauseum forever about it. But if you're just learning it, you're just learning data points. Well, this is the value proposition. So I don't really care about the financial advisors telling their clients. It'll help. But we need to see the best advertising is just price going up. So until we see price going up, I don't see anything changing, you know. So what we got to do, we got to take our vitamin P, a hard dose of patience. I see a cup and handle pattern. I see your head and shoulders in the sky. I'm looking at the moving average, convergence, divergence, the MACD. Whatever that means, let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. I'm looking at a triple top. Looks like the RSI is overbought. It's carving out a spinning top candle. Sometimes they call them a doji. Whatever that means, let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Market sentiment and liquidity. Astrology for men.